Good morning. Welcome, family, friends, esteemed faculty and staff, to the white coat ceremony for the class of spring 2022. We are happy that you could join us virtually to witness this important milestone in their journey to becoming naturopathic physicians. Before we start today's proceedings, I'd like to remind our participants and guests of a few housekeeping items. Please note that today's ceremony is being recorded and will be available online on SCNM's various social media platforms. You are also invited to post your pictures of the day to hashtag SCNM Whitecoat 2020. We look forward to seeing your individual celebrations. To provide insight into what this occasion means and the significance of this moment, I'd like to introduce our president and CEO, Dr. Paul Mittman. During his career, Dr. Mittman practiced naturopathic medicine for 25 years, chaired the homeopathy department at SCNM, conducted research, was the first naturopathic physician published in a peer-reviewed journal, and helped raise two children, a daughter, Cascade, and son, Aryeh, who is a recent alumni of our school. SCNM is the only naturopathic college to have a president who holds a degree of naturopathic medicine degree. Dr. Mittman also earned a Doctor of Higher Education Management from the University of Pennsylvania. We are fortunate to have a president dedicated to making SCNM America's healthiest college. Dr. Mittman is a competitive cyclist and follows a healthy diet. He practices what he preaches and wholeheartedly believes in the healing power of nature. Ladies and gentlemen, Dr. Paul Mittman.
Good morning, class of 2022. First of all, I too would like to welcome and thank your family and friends whose love and support is so important to your success and well-being. One day, during my fourth year of naturopathic medical school 35 years ago, I looked at my classmates and thought, wow, these guys seem different. Though still medical students, my peers appeared more like professional colleagues. We carried ourselves with new confidence, spoke in the declarative clinical language of medicine to describe patients' conditions and our treatment plans. What began imperceptibly was obvious. We were becoming physicians. Our clinical training, caring for other human beings, catalyzed this change. It felt more than mere incremental growth. It felt like a transformation. In nature, matter can change state depending on the surrounding environment. For example, ice turns to water when heat causes the molecules arranged in the crystalline structure to vibrate violently enough until the solid becomes liquid. Conversely, under progressive loss of temperature, water chills degree by degree, but remains a liquid until the falling temperature reaches 32 degrees Fahrenheit, and then boom, it's a solid, it's ice. Living organisms typically grow incrementally too, but can also change states. For example, we see trees grow taller with each passing year, but to go from a pine cone to a seedling isn't just growth. The combination of soil, water, and light unlock the potential within the seeds, resulting in a change of state. Same DNA, whether in the dormant seed or in the towering tree. We see equally striking changes of state in the animal kingdom. For example, picture the metamorphosis of a caterpillar becoming a butterfly. The change of state is not merely growth and maturation, it is a complete transformation into what would appear to be a different being. Same DNA, whether in the crawling caterpillar or the fluttering butterfly. Today, you undergo a changed state. The metamorphosis from student to clinician en route to becoming a physician. You unlock that potential degree by degree through studying classes and labs. The responsibility to help care for patients, to heal the sick, is, however, profoundly different than studying in class. It builds on your acquired knowledge and skills yet it requires you to think, act, and comport yourselves in a completely different manner. Correspondingly, the rewards intellectually, emotionally, and spiritually increase exponentially. As you walk across this stage, you cross a threshold from which there is no turning back. The steps you take today are not incremental, they're transformational. This white coat ceremony celebrates this metamorphosis. You've already experienced rites of passage that commemorate important moments in your lives: birth, the transition to adulthood, perhaps marriage. At SCNM, the stethoscope ceremony heralded your entry to medical school. In less than 2 years, commencement will mark the next phase in your metamorphosis. Your white coat also conveys deeper meanings. It symbolizes the blank, unbiased canvas onto which your patients will write their stories, their histories. The white coat helps you separate your sacred activities from the ordinary. So when you change into your white coat prior to seeing a patient, you step out of the ordinary. You drive to the medical center or wherever it is you have a clinical clerkship, the mundane conversations, etc. And so use the act of donning your coat to pause, take a deep breath, and reflect on the sanctity of the moment, on your calling to help heal the sick. Whatever meaning you impart, I urge you to make the most of these next 2 years. Your intention, preparation, and follow-up will help shape your patient encounters and the depth of learning and understanding you gain. Approach this work with reverence. Congratulations to each of you for the hard work, dedication, and perseverance that helped you reach this milestone on your journey to becoming naturopathic physicians. On behalf of your teachers, attending physicians, and all of us who work at SCNM, we wish you success and learning over the next 2 years. Best wishes, and God bless. It's my pleasure to introduce our next speaker, Patrick Sullivan Jr., who is the CEO of Jigsaw Health, the sponsor of the White Coat Ceremony. Jigsaw is a natural partner for this event, for not only do they produce high-quality nutritional supplements, they're big supporters of naturopathic medicine and of SCNM and its alums. When Jigsaw conducted a study on the effects of time-release magnesium on cardiac risk factors, they turned to a naturopathic physician as a principal investigator. In fact, they chose an SCNM alumnus, Dr. Decker Weiss, for that role. I couldn't imagine a better partner for us as you begin this journey. So please join me in welcoming Patrick Sullivan.
There are 6 principles of naturopathic medicine, the second of which is vis medicatrix naturae, or the healing power of nature. My dad and I created Jigsaw Health because we believe very much in this philosophy. You see, my dad struggled off and on for 30 years with various chronic health challenges: fatigue, anxiety, GI issues, many sleepless nights. He would say that he white-knuckled it through life for many, many years. In the early 90s, he decided if there is an effect, then there must be a cause. And he began to read really every health book that he could get his hands on. He was on the hunt for tolle causam, the third principle of naturopathic medicine, which means identify and treat the underlying causes. One of the more important pieces he discovered was that he was severely deficient in magnesium. Now, for those of you who don't know, magnesium is an essential mineral, an electrolyte actually. Except for some reason, magnesium is never included in sports drinks like Gatorade or Powerade. Magnesium seems to be the Rodney Dangerfield of minerals. I just can't get no respect. Well, Jigsaw Health has become known as the magnesium people, and we make America's #1 time-release magnesium, Mag-SRT. It's commonly cited that magnesium is involved in over 325 biochemical reactions in the body. But that number is from the 1950s, and it was a best guess by Harvard medical professor Dr. Burt Valley. More recently, magnesium researcher Morley Robbins, aka Magnesium Man, has found, based on new research, magnesium is involved in at least 3,751 biochemical reactions. Students, there will be a pop quiz for you to name all of those reactions here in a moment. Thankfully, there's actually a simple way to know if you are likely magnesium deficient. Number one, do you get nighttime leg cramps? You see, muscle tension, especially leg cramps at night, is one of the first signs of magnesium deficiency. And that's because magnesium is Mother Nature's original chill pill. It's like a massage you can swallow. It's like yoga in a bottle. At Jigsaw Health, we say laughter is the best medicine, magnesium is a close second. Maya Angelou said, do the best you can until you know better. Then, when you know better, do better. Parents, family members, friends, take extra pride in the step that these students are taking today. They've discovered that naturopathic medicine is a better way. Students, it's time to put on those white coats and get ready for the good stuff. The stuff I'm sure you've been waiting to get to. The poking, the prodding, the stitching, the sewing. You can now begin to practice the fourth principle, tolle totem, or in English, treating the whole person. This is a major step in your journey to become dasore, or doctor as teacher, the fifth principle. As CEO of Jigsaw Health, I'm incredibly honored to have you wear our tagline on your white coats. It's fun to feel good. When you say that to yourself, remember that Team Jigsaw is here to support you in any way that we can. Thank you, Dr. Mittman, for giving us this opportunity. Ladies and gentlemen, if you remember nothing else of what I've said here today, remember this: laughter is the best medicine. Magnesium is a close second. Thank you so much. Congratulations, students.
Thank you, Dr. Mittman and Mr. Sullivan, for your insights and humor. At this time, we would like to take a moment to recognize the student leaders who have helped steer their class to this point in their journey and who have made this celebration possible today. Their hard work and altruistic drive provide a source of cohesion and camaraderie for their class. Please help me to recognize these leaders. Class President Carrie Haynes, Class Vice President Spencer Warren, Secretary Jenna Lee Mahoney, and Treasurer Lauren Terrassa. The class would also like to recognize the invaluable assistance of Raquel Welsh-Perez, Manager of Student Advising and Engagement, for organizing this event. Thank you all for your hard work. The medical school journey is not an easy one. The path to becoming a doctor is vigorous and tiring. However, with them on this journey have been their faculty. These dedicated teachers have motivated, urged, challenged, and sometimes dragged these students through copious amounts of medical information and practices. However, without these committed educators, this class would not be here today. In particular, the class would like to recognize one teacher who they feel summed up their basic medical sciences experience to date and represents an outstanding commitment to the students. Here to present the Foundational Sciences Award are Class President Carrie Haynes and Vice President Spencer Warren.
Dr. Laskew, from the day we met you as scared little Q2s to the last day we had you as more mature Q7s, you have been able to make us laugh, make our day, and make learning easier. You gave us your patience, compassion, endless jokes, your devotion, and unending well of knowledge. You came into class every single time with a positive attitude and the ability to make us all smile. You checked in on us and genuinely cared that we learn the material.
You've been a huge advocate for us, and you taught us general medical diagnosis to the caliber that we need to learn it to be successful naturopathic doctors. Your greatness is so very appreciated, and it doesn't go unnoticed. So we'd like to take this time during a huge milestone for us to award you with the Foundational Sciences Award.
Thank you,
Dr. Laskew.
Dr. Laskew.
Congratulations, Dr. Laskew. It's a tradition of the white coat ceremony to gain insight into the experiences that have brought the class of spring 2022 to this point in their studies. As such, we have two speakers to help provide us with some understanding of their journey thus far. One from the perspective of the students and the other from faculty. Our first speaker today is Janki Dalal. While there were many volunteers offering to speak on behalf of this class, they thought that out of all the qualified candidates, Janki represented them particularly well. She is fully immersed in naturopathic medicine as a part of her everyday life and represents the hopes and dreams of this class. She has an outstanding personality, is always ready to help her classmates, and effortlessly connects with everyone she meets. Here to share the class of spring 2022's journey thus far, Ms. Janki Dalal.
Good morning, class of 2022. Boy, has it been a ride for us. To start, I'd like to play a little game we're all familiar with, Never Have I Ever. If for some reason you do not know it, then I'm just going to ask you to hold up 5 fingers. I'm going to say 5 statements, and if you've done what I described, put 1 finger down. So number 1, never have I ever used the phrase, "I'll just take the hit" before an exam. Number 2, cried at least once a week since we went online. Number 3, self-diagnosed in almost every single Gen Med lecture. Number 4, thought you were going to get summertime snatched, but this Arizona heat had other plans for you. And number 5, contemplated why you chose to put yourself through this program on a regular basis. How'd we do? If you have even 1 finger left up, then more power to you. I'm amazed. I still remember how bright-eyed and excited we were when we first walked through the doors of SCNM. We had no idea what we were really getting ourselves into. But we poured our life stories out to a room full of strangers on the last day of orientation, not knowing then that the people in that room would become entrusted colleagues, friends, and even chosen family. When we thought that the worst thing that could ever happen to us was bringing home the stench of cadaver lab, not knowing then that we would have to survive Dr. Howell's exams, memorize whole physical exam scripts in less than 2 weeks, and survive a whole global pandemic while attending medical school. Yeah, fun times. Now I want to take a moment to reflect on the last statement from our game that we played earlier. The statement was, contemplated why you chose to put yourself through this program. This is a question that continuously gets asked of us, and sometimes it can be a difficult one to answer amidst all the chaos and changes we go through during medical school. It is an important one to revisit, especially when the feeling of wanting to give up kicks in. And I know that we all had strong reasons that brought us to want to join this profession. However, I would like to point out that the changes that we go through during our time here may have shifted our reasons for wanting to still stick with it. So it's okay if your why has evolved since the day that we started, because we're constantly growing and learning and absorbing the world around us. So if the reason you're sticking with something is different than the reason that you entered, then that's something to be celebrated. Embrace the change because it means that we're expanding our minds and our awareness. This growth and expansion is necessary because if recent events, as cumbersome as they may have been, have taught us anything, it is that change is necessary and change is inevitable. So now we have to ask ourselves, how do we want to be a part of this change? Do we want to sit on the bleachers where it's comfortable? Or do we wish to get our heads in the game and be proponents for change by criticizing systems in place that do not create equal health opportunities for patients that we took an oath to serve? From the stories that I heard at Talking Stick ceremony, as well as how we've carried ourselves these past few months, I can say with full confidence that we are fighters, and we are proponents of this change. Joining this field was no easy feat in the first place, but we did it. And I think it is so incredible that regardless of our backgrounds or personal experiences, we all came together for one common goal, which is to make people feel better. Now, without you all having to listen to me for too much longer so that we can get to the actual good stuff, I would just like to say that I am so incredibly proud of us. I especially want to recognize those who have been personally affected by the adversities brought about by current situations. I know that these past few months have not been easy, and the strength that you possess to persevere in this program despite the battles you face is admirable. And just look at how far we've come. This is a day that we look forward to and a day that seems so far away when we started. But here we are. As a cohort, we've made it through 2 years of medical school together and are about to receive our white coats. From this day forward, as we enter clinic, may we continue to reflect on and evolve the reasons we chose to be here. May we continue to seek out the best versions of ourselves, to be advocates for our patients and what we believe is just. And last but not least, may we look to one another for support and upliftment. And even though we're all currently sitting with miles between us and a screen in front of our eyes, I feel like we've kind of gone into battle together. And at the end of this, I know we're going to come out even stronger. As Nelson Mandela says, it always seems impossible until it is done. And we've done it. So congratulations, class of 2022. We are officially another step closer to becoming that which we dreamed of, doctors of naturopathic medicine. Thank you.
Thank you, Janki. Now for the faculty's perspective. Dr. Shawn Kennedy is an associate professor of nutrition and a physician in our medical center. After graduating from SCNM in 2016, Dr. Kennedy completed a year of residency in family practice, followed by an additional 2 years in homeopathic residency. The class asked Dr. Kennedy to speak to them today because they feel he embodies the very concept of educator. They enjoy his teaching style as he always keeps the class interesting and the students engaged. He is also quick with a joke to make them laugh. Furthermore, he stands an example of what these future doctors wish to become: respected, trusted, and passionate about naturopathic medicine. Ladies and gentlemen, Dr. Shawn Kennedy.
Well, you're finally making it to clinic. This amazingly cohesive unit will now begin competing for shifts and devolving to Q1 students all over again. I've heard some incredible things about this class. You guys are the first group to achieve 100% pass rate on capstone, which is amazing. Congratulations to you guys. I'm sure you rode that confidence right into Part 1 boards and came out the other side unshaken. But don't worry, second round of boards are much easier. For those that remember, for those that don't, I worked with your group in environmental medicine and nutrition, two incredibly important facets of naturopathic medicine, if I do say so myself. I want to take a moment to talk about your classroom, things I've witnessed. You guys are the example I think of when I tell prospective students about the environment here at SCNM. To be both incredibly capable and competitive, but to still support one another is arguably more difficult than to be incredibly successful as individuals. I sincerely believe that. This type of environment is far more representative of the healthcare community that frequently relies upon the unique strengths of other individuals. This strong community you've developed might have a real connection for what I hope will be a long career for each of you. I've often told others that the defining moment of your friendships or relationships has not likely come to pass, that the challenges and difficulties you face will pale in comparison to those you'll experience along your respective journeys that will test and strengthen the bonds that you have with one another. If you feel connected now, just wait until your moment of need when your classmate is there for you in the middle of the night, when they go out of their way to serve you just as you've served others. Those faces next to you in class might be the same faces by your side when your children are in need of medical care. Some of those children are yet to be born or maybe even thought of at this point. This is what I mean when I say that the defining aspect of your relationships is yet to be realized. I hope this thought gives you some meaning or some context to appreciate one another now, in this moment, knowing that you've just begun. I've learned this from the incredible individuals who've come before me. I've paid attention to their interactions and their wisdom, and I've seen this to be true in every step of my own very young journey as well. Now for the significance of this ceremony, the white coat ceremony. This is your official entrance into the healthcare field, except those that have already made that commitment. And to those of you, I thank you. This means you become essential. And this idea of essential means that the world cannot function without your services. In emergency medicine, this idea is rather obvious. In a field that largely seeks to change the course of human health, our essentialness is anything but obvious. When we talk about pre-existing conditions, we don't say well-managed conditions. We are the practitioners that guide the ship of health away from pre-existing to never was. We are the voices. We are the voice that does remind people of the incredible healing capacity of the human body if only it's given the right conditions. We are essential. But you might ask, how can we make a difference? Well, let's pretend there are 30 people in your class. How could just 30 people make a real difference in this world? Well, if each of you 30 sees 100 patients a year, it's less than a cup of coffee per day. Wait, that's the wrong speech. If each of you sees 100 patients per year, that's 3,000 patients per year, 75,000 patients over the course of 25 years. That's about the size of a football stadium. These 75,000 will have on average 650 contacts each in their network. Now we're talking 48,750,000 individuals. And these nearly 49 million will have their own networks and so on and so forth. Now, you'll inevitably see more than 100 patients per year, and you'll make far more contacts than this. And these individuals will speak to other people and contact each other through social networks, and your words will carry further than you could ever imagine. Your words have weight. Your words have influence. Make your words mean something. Become the person, the clinician you'd like to hear from, the clinician who'd instill confidence in you that they know the struggle, or at least they're willing to listen to it, and that they have hope you'll make it to the other side. Your words may accidentally travel around the world. Treat them as if you know that to be true. Most of all, get after it. I love you guys. Congratulations. I'll see you guys soon.
Thank you, Dr. Kennedy. Now for the moment you have all been patiently waiting for, the presentation of the white coats. I ask all of today's white coat recipients to please grab your coats and be prepared to turn on your cameras when asked. We'll be showing your picture first before we go live to your location, so please be ready for your moment. While the students prepare, please allow me to introduce the individual who will be reading the names of today's recipients. Learning Specialist Jill K. Drown. Jill holds a bachelor's degree in psychology and a master's degree in education with a specialization in curriculum and instruction. She utilizes her 19 years of education experience to support SCNM students with academic success strategies and a robust peer tutoring program. The class asked Jill to read their names because as a certified yoga instructor and mindfulness coach, Jill's pre-exam meditations are responsible for not only calming students for maximum academic performance, but also for helping students strive for some semblance of a healthy work-life balance while undertaking such a rigorous medical education. Ladies and gentlemen, without any further delay, Jill K. Drown presenting today's white coat recipients.
Congratulations, class of 2022. Oluwatimileyin Adishna. Meredith Astrup. Shamar Amison. Erica Aranda. Chelsea Barranco. Melissa Bellman. Daniel Burzins. Katie Branch. Daniel Clark. Junkie Dalal. Morgan Fielding. Amanda Grishow. Kelly Haas. Carrie Haynes. Celinda Haynes. Aaron Kleinpeter. Sierra Neller. Hannah Lindsay. Jenna Lee Mahoney. Juliana Mann. Shannon Miller. Lauren Moore. Julie Murphy. Kristen Newell. Sydney Nguyen. Nan T. Nguyen. Alina Pappenfuss. Alexis Parenti. Stephanie Peterson. Kiana Rush. Clara Sartor. Cheyenne Scott Johnson. Grace Shim. Heather Simmons. Noelle Smallsick. D. Corbin Suggs. Elise Sulcer. Bryce Summers. Sarah Teodorsky. Lauren Terraza. Nathaniel Trinka. Nyla Wade. Brooke Walderson. Spencer Warren. Joseph Wozneski. Alyssa Wolfert. Felicia Zarnoski.
Thank you, Jill. White coat recipients, I ask you now to please put on your headphones with microphone so as to avoid audio feedback and open your programs. Guests, if you do not see your particular student in the gallery view, please advance to the second page. While the students prepare to take the oath, please let me introduce Adjunct Professor of Physical Medicine, Dr. Rachel Hasselbrock, who will be administering the white coat oath today. Dr. Hasselbrock is a graduate from SCNM, class of 2017. She teaches minor surgery, physical medicine, and physiotherapy modalities at SCNM. She also teaches pharmacology and the history of medicine and integrative medicine at Pima in Phoenix. She's the owner of Alinea Health, Arizona's first mobile naturopathic medical practice, serving the people of the Phoenix Valley from the comfort of their homes or offices. Her role in medicine as a primary care physician allows her to see many health concerns, giving her the ability to treat ailments ranging from the common cold to autoimmune disease. She has mastery in mind-body health and is currently building an online course that serves women suffering with body dysmorphic disorder who are looking for an alternative solution to overcoming this disease without the use of pharmaceutical drugs. The students asked Dr. Hasselbrock to lead them in the oath because she is a motivator, positive thinker, and wants patients and students alike to believe in themselves and their ability to achieve. Ladies and gentlemen, please welcome Dr. Hasselbrock to lead you in the clinical oath.
Okay, quiet.
Donnelly. All right, students, please repeat after me.
Dr. Hasselbrock to lead you in the clinical oath. I'm not unmuted.
보여요? 나는 여기 나와.
All right, here we go, students. I state your name.
Shannon Miller.
As a student of Southwest College of Naturopathic Medicine.
As a student of
Southwest
College of Naturopathic Medicine.
Will enter the clinical portion of my educational training.
will enter the clinical
portion of my educational training.
With open mind and eager spirit.
With open mind and eager spirit.
I will incorporate the information that I have learned in the classroom.
I will incorporate the information
I have learned in the classroom.
With the knowledge that is now being passed on to me by my clinical supervisors.
The knowledge is now being passed on to me by my clinical supervisors.
As a student clinician.
I
will parallel my therapeutic approach.
To the basic principles of naturopathic medicine.
To the basic principles of naturopathic medicine.
First, do no harm.
Do no harm.
The healing power of nature.
The healing power of
nature.
Identify and treat the cause. Treat the whole person. Physician as teacher. And prevention is the best cure.
I
I will treat each patient individually.
I will treat each patient individually.
I will look for the cause and treat the whole person. Each time I wear my white coat. I will do so with honor for those that trust me.
With
an open mind for those that are educating me. With respect and responsibility. Those that have paved the way before me in this profession. Awesome job, team. Congratulations, class of spring 2020.
Get in here. Pop down. Oh, you can't see it.
Hey, buddy. Boy.
Take it slow.
Congratulations.
Is one very happy group.
Got it.
Congratulations all. Welcome to the next phase in your journey. Thank you everyone for sharing this important milestone with us today. This concludes our ceremony. We look forward to seeing you all at the next big milestone at graduation. Have a wonderful day.